Today, I am going to teach you the methods by which we can calculate empirical and molecular formula. Okay, what is empirical formula? Empirical formula represent the simplest whole number ratio of different atoms present in a molecule. What is empirical formula? Empirical formula represents the simplest whole number ratio of different atoms present in a compound. And what is molecular formula? Molecular formula represents the exact number of different atoms present in a compound. So empirical formula represent the simplest whole number ratio, simplest whole number ratio of different atoms, and molecular formula represents the exact number of atoms present in a compound. For example, if I tell you the what is the formula of glucose, you know the formula of glucose, that is C6H12O6. Okay, this is the molecular formula of glucose because it represents the exact number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen present in glucose. But when I divide the numbers of all the atoms present in glucose by their common factor, here which one is the common factor? That is 6. If I divide the numbers of all the atoms by 6, I will get CH2O. This is the simplest whole number ratio, so it is the empirical formula. Okay, now how can we get molecular formula from empirical formula? If I multiply this CH2O with the N factor, then I will get its molecular formula. Here the value of N factor is 6. That's why when I multiply this CH2O with 6, I'll get C6H12O6, which is the molecular formula of glucose. Now, how can we get the value of N factor? The value of N factor, N equals to the molecular mass of glucose. The molecular mass of glucose here glucose by empirical formula mass of glucose. Okay, so by this way we can get the value of N equals to molecular mass of that substance by empirical formula of the substance, same substance, then only we get the value of N. Okay, now I will explain it by taking an example. Okay, for example, if I take a compound where the percentage of carbon equals to 57.82 percentage and hydrogen equals to 3.6 percentage and the remaining is oxygen, so oxygen will be 38.58 percentage. Its molecular mass equals to 166 U. Okay, by using this value you have to calculate its molecular and empirical formula. For getting empirical formula, first I make a table. Okay, what is a table? First I write the name of the element. Then their respective percentage, then atomic mass, then moles, then mole ratio, then simple whole number ratio. What is this? This is simple whole number ratio. Okay, so first here I write element is carbon, its percentage is 57.82. Next one is hydrogen, its percentage is 3.6. Third one is oxygen, its percentage is 38.58. Okay, you know the atomic mass of carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1, oxygen is 16. How will I get the value of moles? By using their abundance and atomic mass. If I divide this abundance with its atomic mass, then I will get its mole value. So I divide this 57.82 by 12, then I will get its mole. Its value will be 4.8. Oh, okay. Similarly, for hydrogen, when I divide 3.6 by its atomic mass, this is 1, I will get the value 3.6. Okay, when I divide 38.58 by 16, I will get the value of the moles of oxygen, it will be 2.4. Okay, then I have to fill up this mole ratio column. How can I fill it? How can I calculate mole ratio? Now the 3 moles are 4.8, 3.6 and 2.4. If I divide all the moles by the least number of this mole, then I will get the mole ratio. Okay, among these three, which one is the least number? 2.4 is the least number. So I will divide all these terms by 2.4. So I divide 4.8 by 2.4, then 3.6 by 2.4 and 2.4 by 2.4. Here it is 1, here it is 1.5, here it is 2. Now I have to fill up this simple whole number ratio table, ratio column. How can I fill it? Here all numbers are not the whole number. Okay, number of hydrogen atoms are here 1.5. It is not a whole number. How can I make it whole number? If I multiply this with 2, then I will get the whole number. If I multiply this with 2, then only I will get the whole number, that is 3. But when all the numbers are in a ratio, I cannot multiply any one number. Okay, we have to multiply all the numbers which are present in the ratio with the same number. So here I have to multiply this carbon also by 2 and oxygen also by 2. So here I get the whole numbers 4 for carbon and for 2 for oxygen. So their whole number ratio will be whole number ratio is now 4, 3 and 2. You know whole number ratio represent which one? Empirical or molecular formula? Whole number ratio represent the empirical formula. So what will be the empirical formula of the compound? So empirical formula is C4H3O2. Okay, now I have to convert this empirical formula into molecular formula. How can I convert it? You know molecular formula will be the empirical formula into n factor. So here I write C4H3O2 into n. How can I calculate the value of n? N equals to, already I explained, molecular mass by empirical formula mass. N equals to molecular mass by empirical formula mass. What is molecular mass? Already provided in the numerical, that is 166. What is empirical formula mass? Here number of carbons 4, so I multiply this 4 with 12. Then number of hydrogens 3, so it will be 3 into 1. Then number of oxygens 2, so it will be 2 into 12. So I here get 166 by 83, that means the result will be 2. So the value of n factor is 2. So here I multiply this C4H3O2 with 2, I will get C8H6O4. This is the molecular formula of glucose. By this way, we can get molecular formula from empirical formula. Okay. Next, I explain limiting reagent. What is limiting reagent? Next, I explain limiting reagent. What is limiting reagent? Limiting reagent is a reactant which is completely consumed in a reaction. What is limiting reagent? Limiting reagent is the reactant which is completely consumed in a reaction. Okay, and another reagent is also present with limiting reagent in a reaction, that is called excess reagent, which is present in excess amount. This is called excess reagent. And always we calculate the product. Always we calculate the product from this limiting reagent only, because the reaction rate depends on the limiting reagent. Okay, so I'll explain it by taking an example. Suppose I'll write this equation 2a plus 3b when reacts will get 4d. How will I read this equation? I'll read it like this way: when 2 moles of A reacts with 3 moles of B, will get 4 moles of D. So here two reactants are present and their moles are respectively 2 and 3. Okay, now this is required for carrying this reaction, but supplied amount but the supplied amounts are like this way, that is 4 moles A supplied, with this only 4 moles B also supplied. Okay, so supplied amounts of A and B are 4, all have 4 moles. Okay, now from this equation, from this reaction, we know for getting 3 moles of B we require 2 moles of A. That means 2 moles of A required only 3 moles of B. So 2 moles of A react with 3 moles of B. Here supplied moles of A is 4. So that means 4 moles of A reacts with how much mole of B? Reacts with 6 moles of B. Okay, so from this relation, 2-3 relation, we easily calculated that when 4 moles of A reacts, then required B will be 6 mole. But here supplied B is only 4 moles. So B is not sufficient for carrying this reaction. B is not sufficient for carrying the reaction. For continuing the reaction with 4 moles of A, required B will be 6 moles. But here supplied B only 4 moles. So B is not sufficient. B is limiting. So here B is the limiting reagent. Okay, so which one is the limiting reagent? Here B is the limiting reagent. So as B is the limiting reagent, so obviously A will be the excess reagent, and always we calculate the reaction, calculate the product during the reaction from which one? From the limiting reagent. Okay, so here I calculate the amount of D from this B only. How can I calculate? From this reaction ratio I can write 3 moles of B reacts with 4 moles of D. So 1 mole of B react with 4 by 3 moles of D, and here supplied B is 4 moles. So from 4 moles of B we will get 16 by 3 moles of D. 16 by 3 moles of D. Okay, so by this way we can calculate the limiting reagent and also the product, how much product is formed. Okay, thank you.